I think we've got all the Board of Adjustment members on the call. I guess I'm going to do a roll call here. We're recording the audio, just so you all know. I'll call your name and say present. Ken Visker?
Present.
Larry Hafner?
Present.
Franklin Hahn?
Present.
Brian Van Gort?
Present.
And Ken Anderson.
Present.
Okay, I'm going to leave you all unmuted during the meeting, so you'll be able to talk when you feel the need. We'll try to keep this as much like our normal process as we can. So with that, I guess I will turn it over to Ken Visker to call the meeting to order. I guess I did the roll call out of order, but I'll let you call to order the meeting to order, and then you kick it back to me when you'd like me to read the notice.
Okay, I hear you. We are calling our Board of Adjustment meeting to order, and I will turn this over to Aaron to read the public hearing notice and to receive the staff report.
Okay, please take notice that an application was received from Eric and Ann Hendrickson for a variance of setback requirements. This is in La Crescent Township in a residential district, and they're applying to for a variance to locate a garage 5 feet from a side property line. A hearing on this application will be held at 6 p.m. on Thursday, April 30th. Due to the health pandemic, the hearing will be conducted remotely pursuant to Minnesota Statute 13D.021, with Board of Adjustment members participating by telephone. Anyone wishing to monitor the meeting by telephone must contact the zoning office by calling by Tuesday, April 28th, 2020. All persons having an interest in the matter will be given the opportunity to submit comments relative to the granting or denying of the application. Comments should be mailed to the Environmental Service Department or emailed to me, and it must have been received by Tuesday, April 21st. Comments in regard to the petition received by this date will be part of the public record and will be made available for review by the Board of Adjustment prior to the meeting. And this was advertised on April 15th. And I don't believe we received comments ahead of that date, but I did receive a phone call yesterday, and I will, after Jim is done going through the staff report, relay the comment that was provided at that point, if the chair so pleases. With that, I will turn it over to Jim Gardner to go through the staff report.
This is Jim Gardner. The applicant is seeking to place a garage 5 feet from the west property line. A community well is located on the property that provides water to the homes located within county living estates. The placement of the garage in the proposed location is necessary to accommodate multiple utility easements related to the well and equipment for future well upgrades. Variance of setback requirements to meet the required 15-foot setback from the west property line to build a garage. This would be a 24-foot by 30-foot garage. According to Mr. Hendrickson, the location of this garage is very intentional because he and his neighbors wish to make some improvements to the well, to the community well that is on his Mr. Hendrickson's property. And these components require that they be in a heated garage. So that's why it has to be close to the property line. La Crescent Township and the 10 closest property members have been notified and no comments were received. The map below shows the location of the garage, and that's outlined in green. How far should I keep going?
Aaron, you want to go through the entire thing, or you want to stop and go through it one at a time?
Well, I think there's just a couple components left to that staff report, so why don't you go ahead and cover those, and then I can, if you're in agreement, I can provide the comment that was received yesterday, and then we can move on to board discussion.
Okay. That works for me. Does it work for everyone?
Yes.
Any objection? Okay, let's move on then. We'll continue with the rest of the staff report.
Okay. The Board of Adjustment shall have the exclusive power to order the issuance of variances from the requirements of any official control.
Jim, can I
Including
interject
restriction.
quickly?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if we need to do that. Jim, if you're okay, I'll just mention the additional two things in that staff report. There's a setback required from septic components, and based on Jim's conversations with Mr. Hendrickson, the septic tank and the drain field would be approximately 30 feet away from the proposed garage. The setback for the drain field is 20 feet, so we're meeting that. And then lastly, this parcel is near Pine Creek, and there's floodplain and shoreline district overlay on it. However, the proposed building location is on a higher point on that parcel, and it's outside of the shoreline and the floodplain districts.
Aaron, which side is the septic setback from of the proposed garage?
The garage.
You said 30 feet, yeah.
Yeah, the garage would be to the west of the septic. The septic drain
Okay.
field is located south of the house.
That clarifies a little bit of why they have to be so close to the property line.
Yep.
Because the septic is between their house and the property line, the west property line. Is that right?
No, the
The
septic
location
is
of the septic
south of the
system.
house.
South of the house. Okay. So I guess my concern is, as I look at it, that what is the reason that they have to be, other than closeness to that well, which is near the west property line, why do they have to be that close to the west property line?
I guess I'll let Mr. Hendrickson elaborate on that, but my understanding is the primary driver of that is the proximity to the well. Maybe if the board has other questions on the staff report, we could handle those now, and then we could move on to the applicants adding any information they wish to or answering any questions the board members might have.
What is the normal setback requirement, or isn't there a requirement, a setback in a situation like this? Not that I'm opposed to it, I was just wondering what the setback normally is, footage-wise, from the property line.
So that good question, Franklin. In the residential district, it is 15 feet.
Okay. Well, I saw that in here, the 15 feet, but I was just clarifying it.
So can we ask Eric at this point to give us his comments?
Could we have
Eric, are you there?
the comment from whoever submitted one there first?
Sure.
You bet. If you want me to go now, I certainly can. That's up.
Any other
Would you-
questions from board members before Eric makes his comments?
I thought Aaron was going to read a comment from somebody.
Well, let's do that after Eric.
Okay.
We'll have that, but let's do it after Eric. Can we do
Okay.
that? Are you
Yep.
okay with that?
Yep.
Okay, Eric, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, guys. If you look on that drawing, you'll see that there's a legend that has some red lines, blue lines, and then the green outline of the shed. If you look to the south of that shed towards the pond, that's a very steep slope right there.
Okay.
And so we're trying to avoid going any farther south with the shed. We can't go any farther to the right or closer to the house because we have, there's electrical there's our electrical service for the house indicated by that red line that kind of angles off towards the house.
Is that a buried line?
That is a buried line, correct.
Okay.
And we were trying to keep it, all of those red lines, if you look at where they come to a common point at the north,
Right. Yeah.
that's a power pole. That's an actual utility pole.
Okay. Now, my question for you indicated there's a well. Is that located? There's a red line and a blue line merge. Is that where the well is, or?
Right. Yep. That's correct. So if you look at that blue line, if you look at it as kind of a sideways Y, the bottom of the Y originates at the juncture of that red line coming off the power pole. That is one of the wellheads. The other wellhead is at right by our driveway where that red line and the blue line.
Now
that's another well.
Okay.
Yep, so there's two
part
community
of my
wells.
questions on this whole thing.
Okay.
I thought I saw there were 2 wells, but I couldn't figure out where they were.
Correct.
So now I'll mark my map with that.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. And so that's kind of the reason for the critical placement of that shed is for the future expansion of that variable speed system down the road when we're going to incorporate those on the northern end of the garage. We need to be close to as close as we can without encroaching on the easements of those community wells. We need to be cognizant of the buried power line that travels there that services our house. And, you know, obviously we can't put the garage on the right side because we're completely on the other side of the well system.
Yep.
And so
I follow there. Yep.
Yeah. So that's why the garage placement is pretty critical.
How much room is there between the garage placement and that buried power line?
Oh, right now, I would say the garage placement and the buried power line would be about 20 feet.
Okay. 20
to 20. Where the placement of the shed is right now.
Is there an easement for that buried power line?
No, that's a service line to the house.
Okay.
So I guess.
And there's also a buried gas tank in that just to the right of that power line.
As we're looking at it to the right, to the east.
Correct. As you're looking to the right of the right north corner of that shed, to the right of that red service line for the electrical, there is a buried LP tank there as well.
Okay.
So I guess the question to me would be,